CTV News with Sarah Freemark.
Irish snacks to savor while Guinness and green beer are flowing as the city turns a shade of green for St. Patrick's Day, and the celebrations are just getting started. Good evening. We'll have more from all the festive cheer of St. Patrick's Day. But first, we begin with the dangerous weather that some parts of our region saw today, with snow blanketing roadways. Yet again, CTV's Mike Lang has been tracking the multiple crashes and the highway shutdown from earlier today. He joins us live now from Highway 11 in Oromadante along Gasoline Alley. Mike.
Yes, Sarah, snow squall advisories were in place for much of our region last night into this morning, but it wasn't really the snowfall that was a factor. It was the high, intense winds that caused intermittent whiteouts and wreaked havoc on Highway 11 right behind me. It was an all too familiar sight for Simcoe County drivers Tuesday morning. Heavy winds blowing walls of snow across Gasoline Alley, leading to zero visibility. Highway 11 closing in multiple areas between Barrie and Orillia throughout the morning.
As of about 10 o'clock today, there was 16 collisions that the OPP was responding to, with involved over 20 vehicles.
Most were single vehicle collisions between Line 8 and Line 13, and at least 2 of them involved transport trucks hitting the middle guardrail. Luckily, no serious injuries were reported in any of them. All Highway 11 northbound lanes were closed on 2 occasions, the first at around 7 a.m. near Memorial Avenue, the second just before 11:30 between Line 10 and Line 11, right next to Cameron Thorne's furniture business.
There's been 4 accidents in front of my shop here between the 9th and the 15th. Just the wind whipping across, intermittent whiteouts. Tow truck operator James Ireland got stuck in both closures.
I think one of the biggest things here is just speed. We gotta talk these people into slowing down and driving more carefully.
According to Environment Canada, 12 to 15 centimeters of snow fell further up Highway 11 in Muskoka, but visibility was down to 1.6 kilometers at 7 a.m. In Barrie, the weather agency confirms that winds exceeded 40 kilometers per hour and gusts blew up to 54 kilometers per hour throughout the morning.
We're still in March, plenty of winter ahead of us. Make sure you're checking those road conditions. You're checking the weather of not only where you're going, but where you're coming from.
The weather alerts that were in place this morning have been lifted, but some Highway 11 lanes remained closed into the early evening as crash scenes were still getting cleaned up. Motorists are once again reminded to drive according to what's around them and be extra vigilant on days like today where there are fast-changing conditions. Reporting live in Oromadante alongside Highway 11, I'm Mike Lang. Sarah, I'll send it back to you.
Okay, thanks for that, Mike. Barrie Transit riders may face service disruptions next week as a strike could be looming, with workers potentially in that strike position as of Monday. CTV's Rob Cooper reports.
Paul Dixon is one of more than 220 Barrie Transit drivers ready to walk off the job on Monday. The union recently voted 96.5% in favor of strike action if a new deal isn't reached.
Well, I definitely don't want to go on strike, but you got to do what you got to do. I'm praying. You can always pray. Otherwise, we will be out.
The union representing transit workers say it's given strike notice after failing to reach a new agreement with MVT Canadian Bus Incorporated, a Texas-based company that holds a 20-year contract to operate Barrie Transit. The union says the main issue isn't pay, but respect and benefits.
We're trying for better benefits to cover a growing assault rate that everybody wants to sweep under the rug. There's no good faith bargaining going on at the table whatsoever. They're trying to enforce American labor law up here, which doesn't work.
Calls to MVT Canadian Bus Incorporated for comment were not returned today. About 10,000 people use Barrie Transit every day, and many say they are aware of the pending strike.
It will affect a lot of people in Barrie, but they have to do what they have to do too, right?
Not much I can do. Probably just, stay local and don't travel if I don't have to.
If the strike goes ahead, the city says some contingency plans will be in place.
For conventional and transit on demand, the only route that'll be operating is Route 8, and they'll be operating from Monday to Friday from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. at about 75-minute intervals.
Management staff will operate the buses during the strike, and riders will not be charged. Special services will be offered only for those needing to get to essential medical appointments. The Barrie-Allendale Transit Terminal will remain open. Other travel providers like Go and Ontario Northland may experience disruptions, and pickup and drop-off locations could change.
Now, the union says it has one more round of talks scheduled with the company on Friday. If that fails, it says it's walking at 12:01 a.m. Monday morning, and says come Monday it will stop and slow down any buses that may be running. Rob Cooper, CTV News, Barrie.
Late this afternoon, the ATU got back to CTV News and said since June of 2025, MVT has presented several comprehensive proposals to the union in the course of collective bargaining, consistent with its obligation to bargain in good faith. We acknowledge but disagree with the union's decision to authorize a potential strike, which will potentially affect transit services for Barrie citizens. We look forward to the union's next proposal on March 20th and remain hopeful the day ends in an agreement. And while many are out celebrating St. Patrick's Day and March break, police are cracking down as this week marks National Impaired Driving Prevention Week. Spot checks and ride programs are in full force to keep everyone safe. CTV's Luke Samard has the latest on the programs and just how many Canadians are still driving impaired.
Good. Barrie Police conducting a ride program. Have you got too many drugs or alcohol today?
Barrie Police were on Dunlop Street East Tuesday conducting a ride program.
Reduce impaired driving everywhere, and we do this all year round, to be quite honest. The fact that it's this prevention week, March break for the children out of school, and today being St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, it's a good reason for us to be out during the daytime as well.
March 15th to 21st marks National Impaired Driving Prevention Week by MAD Canada, and they say ride programs are an important reminder to make smart choices.
They provide that visual reminder that you can be caught, and that's really the best way to alter people's behavior, because without that visibility, people start thinking, well, it won't be me. I won't get caught. I'm not going to hurt anybody. I'm not going to kill anybody. It's not going to be a problem. I don't have far to go.
With people across Canada continuing to make poor decisions.
215 impaired driving charges and short-term suspensions every day. And that works out to over 78,000 every year. That's a massive problem. And so we really need to remind people that this is a preventable crime.
Even in the middle of the day, police are still on the lookout for those driving impaired.
We do catch impaired drivers at all times of the day in various parts of the city. I would like to hope that what we're doing is reducing that. But again, my entire career, we've still been out here having to deal with that problem.
New laws around impaired driving came into effect in January, including longer license suspensions from 3 to 7 days, longer look-back periods from 5 to 10 years, and mandatory education if charged with impaired. Police across the region are expected to do more spot checks throughout National Impaired Driving Prevention Week, and police are also asking drivers to drive safe and slow down when approaching a ride program. Luke Samard, CTV News, Barrie.
Time now to head outside and see how the roads are moving this hour. This is a live look at Highway 400 near Essa Road. You can see traffic is moving, but as Mike mentioned, when the winds pick up, there is low visibility because of the blowing wind. We also just heard many ride programs will be out because lots of people heading to bars and pubs across the city to tap into the luck of the Irish. And that's exactly what our Casey Colby is doing. We find him in the heart of downtown Barrie. Case.
Sarah, we're down here at Donnelly's Irish Public House. I'm the tallest little Irishman in the whole place. We're having a good time celebrating, yes, St. Paddy's Day. And yeah, Memphis Mod on stage right now. Really, this place is jumping. It really is. This is the place to be. Everybody, hey! Yeah, they're loving it. And we're loving it too. I hope you're having a great St. Paddy's Day. Let's talk about a great forecast. It may not necessarily be today, but we'll get to it anyway. And here we go with the first look at the forecast. First look at the weather for today outside our beautiful Barrie studios and outside Donnelly's Irish Public House. We're looking at -9 as far as the temperature goes. Winds are out of the northwest. I guess about 20 kilometers an hour, though gusts as high as about 50 a little later on. How about the temperature outside your little Irish house for this evening? -10 in Mount Forest, -10 is what we're sitting at in Collingwood, -11 in Gravenhurst, -10 in Parry Sound. Hurts So Good is what we're singing on stage, and Hurts So Good is what this winter is feeling like right now. I hope you're enjoying yourself on the ski hills and making the most of the outside play. This is radar satellite images over the last little while. Yes, we've had some snow. Yes, it's plenty chilly out, that's for sure. Oh, but we're having a good time anyway. We're celebrating St. Paddy's Day, and this is the place to be. I hope you're having a good time. And Sarah coming up just a few minutes' time with one quick look at the weather watches and warnings. Before we get to anything else, I just want to say, looking at a snow squall warning coming down right now in the far western section of our viewing area, just off the shores of Lake Huron is what we're looking at. Coming up just a few minutes' time, Sarah, a little bit of Irish trivia and more celebrations on St. Paddy's Day. Well done! Sarah, back to you.
Seems the celebrations are well underway. Thanks, Case. Solo drivers may soon be able to use the high occupancy vehicle, or HOV lanes, during certain times of the day. Now, it's still just an idea, one the Ford government is considering as part of efforts to help traffic flow and local commuters. For a closer look at how this could play out in our region, let's go to CTV's Jack Morris. Jack, at this point, what else do we know?
Well, Sarah, we don't have a huge amount of details on this just yet. What we know is the province is looking into what would happen if they opened up those carpool lanes to single vehicle cars. Regular traffic during off-peak hours. Now, the province has not defined what off-peak means here. Officials say they're getting public feedback and looking at traffic data to make that decision. Currently, the vehicles allowed in HOV lanes are cars with more than 2 people inside, buses, taxis, green plate vehicles, airport limousines, motorcycles, emergency vehicles, and high-occupancy toll permit holders. Transportation Ministry modeling shows opening up carpool lanes would reduce travel times for everyone on the road, increasing speeds in both HOV and general purpose lanes across major highways during off-peak hours. The government hasn't shared detailed numbers for those time savings.
It's pretty common sense, you know, if after rush hour, those lanes are sitting empty, and if there's a traffic jam or whatever, 7, 8 o'clock at night, people should be able to use the HOV lanes. We're studying it, and we're going to move forward as the numbers come in.
Thousands of people in Barrie commute to the GTA for work. 1 in 5 out-of-city commuters go more than an hour each way. Nearly 3/4 of vehicles on provincial highways are only carrying the driver, that according to government data from 2022. The Transportation Minister says gridlock hurts the economy. A 2024 study suggests congestion in the GTA and Hamilton costs close to $50 billion a year. Now, Ford doubled down on his remarks later in the day on social media, saying it would fight gridlock and would get the province moving. If the government goes ahead, those changes will come into effect by the end of the year for all current and future HOV lanes. Sarah.
All right, that's our Jack Morris reporting live tonight. One person is in hospital after they were shot while trying to break into a home in Vaughan. Police released footage from a home on Carville Woods Circle just before 1 a.m. where they say after the break-in, a resident used a legally owned firearm to shoot at the suspects who fled in a black pickup truck. Shortly after, one person was dropped off at the hospital with a gunshot wound and is now facing charges related to the home invasion. 3 other suspects are still at large. An alleged child predator facing multiple sex-related charges, including complaints involving children and concerning Post-it notes found at a local park, appeared in court today. CTV's Mike Arcelides reports, but first a warning that details in this story may be triggering.
Still without a lawyer ahead of trial, 35-year-old Mitch Koopmans is accused of about 24 sex crimes involving several complainants, including children. He appeared inside a Collingwood courtroom today where he set his self-represented pretrial date. Koopmans has been behind bars for about a year, accused of 5 counts of sexual assault, making sexually explicit material available to children, child luring through telecommunication, and invitation to sexual touching, along with unauthorized possession of a weapon. He is alleged to have left Post-it notes at parks, including this one in Hillsdale, with the message, "Free adult chat," with links to sexually explicit content. Police said the sticky notes were discovered last April, inviting children to connect on an adult website. Koopmans was denied bail in July despite a loved one pledging at least $100,000 to secure his release under strict conditions, including house arrest with GPS ankle monitoring. Huronia West Ontario Provincial Police revealed its investigation was supported by the Child Sexual Exploitation Unit and Repeat Offender and Parole Enforcement Unit to identify the accused. Weeks later, Koopmans was charged with several other counts of sexual assault dating back a few years. Court records obtained by CTV News show Koopmans was charged again last month, accused of further sex crimes. At the time of Koopmans' arrest, police appealed to the public, including any potential victims, to come forward. The identities of complainants are protected by a publication ban. The allegations against Mitch Koopmans have not been tested in court. Mike Arsleedy, CTV News, Barrie.
A Barrie mental health organization is now more accessible thanks to provincial funding. A $118,000 grant from the Ontario Trillium Foundation helped the Canadian Mental Health Association Simcoe County branch upgrade its Ferris Lane location. This included installing a new ramp, automatic doors, and improved lighting.
We moved into the building in early January. We received occupancy for this floor in early January, and then our early psychosis intervention program moved in down on the lower floor in the end of January.
Officials say the improvements create a more welcoming space and help more people access mental health services right across the county. Meanwhile, Ontario is welcoming a $5.16 million investment from Triumph Prime Fab to expand manufacturing in Midland. Provincial officials say this will create 36 new good-paying jobs and protect 5 existing ones in Simcoe County. The company will produce 2 new prefabricated housing products, including modular homes and high-performance wall systems using advanced automation equipment. Chapman's Ice Cream is giving a big scoop to a local charity. The company pledging $125,000 over the next 5 years to keep the Hanley Institute running. It reached out late last year, concerned that if it didn't receive help, it would have to close the doors, so Chapman stepped in. The charity helps Grey County teens build life skills through after-school programs, camps, and workshops. This spring, tailgaters will be able to bring their own booze into legally designated areas like local festivals, farmers markets, and outdoor movies. CTV's Natalie Johnson brings us more on the Ford government's expansion of the Bring Your Own Alcohol permits across the province.
On one of the busiest days of the year for bars, you don't need the luck of the Irish to find a pint being poured in the middle of the day.
The more time we spend celebrating, the less time we spend arguing.
And many of the people in this pub will cheers to the idea of looser alcohol rules in this province.
People are generally responsible. The rest of the world has allowed, these sort of relaxed drinking rules for some time, and I think we're catching up slowly.
The Ford government announcing today it is expanding Bring Your Own Alcohol permits for outdoor community events, including festivals and farmers markets.
If you want to go to a cultural event, then you can have a glass of wine and a beer. You want to bring your own wine, that's fine.
Under the plan, expanded permits will allow event goers to BYOB to drink in designated areas to save them money and support tourism.
Having more ways for people to enjoy the city is a good thing, but they might want to sit down and order something because we also want to help out local businesses.
The chair of the Greektown BIA, which runs the Taste of the Danforth, says there is promise in the plan.
What a great opportunity it creates for those visiting the festivals all across the province that you can partake in any way you kind of really please.
But he also encourages event goers to patronize the bars and restaurants that put on the festival.
Taste of the Danforth is put on by the members of Greektown, and we also are alcohol serving establishments, and we'd like our unique visitors coming to participate and enjoy and celebrate in the fun of a Taste of the Danforth this year to also kind of think of drinking with our member businesses.
Other festival organizers have concerns about crowd control and liability.
How are we going to manage this? Because Ozfest and other festivals, when they attract
a crowd that want to have a good time. Often there's lots of alcohol consumed. We want to make sure we're putting on the most safe festival and most responsible festival.
Mad Canada responding today, quote, anytime there is an increase in the availability of alcohol, there are concerns about an increase in alcohol-related harms, including impaired driving. The Premier, though, says he believes Ontarians will partake responsibly.
If someone wants to have a beer or a glass of wine, they should be able to.
And expects the majority of festival goers will still be raising their glass in restaurants. Natalie Johnson, CTV News.
Ontario grocery chain Farm Boy is expanding into the Northwest region with a new location in Collingwood. The store is set to open next Thursday, March 26th on Huron Street in the heart of the downtown. This will be Farm Boy's 52nd location in the province and feature a hyper-local aisle showcasing products from local vendors like Root to Fruit and Georgian Bay granola. Farm Boy was founded in Cornwall back in 1981 and has grown to over 50 locations across Ontario, including a Barrie location which opened 4 years ago. Now, with March break in full swing, the Art Gallery of Ontario is offering families the opportunity to see their own work displayed to the public.
This activation is about collective drawing. So you can come into this space, into Walker Court, you can see a prompt on the wall. I think this one is, what animals in Toronto do you see at night? And then you can come and draw. We're building one big, multiple, all of these collaborative drawings together. And at the end of the day, we hang them up on the wall. So your artwork can also be part of the AGO.
The AGO will be hosting events through until Sunday. In addition to creating art, the activities also let people explore the gallery with the AGO's activity booklet. Now, a reminder that Metrolinx is making things easier for students and families to get around this week. Kids 12 and under ride free on all trains and buses, while youth 13 to 19 can get 40% off with Presto. Cardholders can also take advantage of perks, including discounts at Ripley's Aquarium, Toronto Zoo, the Royal Ontario Museum, and other top attractions. Next on CTV Barrie, competing to become some of the best Irish dancers on the planet. And they're found right here in our region. What local dance school has helped them master their craft? Plus, let their interest in ornithology take flight, where families can embrace this Birds of Prey exhibit this March break. You're watching CTV Barrie. Welcome back. The celebration of everything Irish on this St. Patrick's Day would not be complete without this little hat and any mention of Irish dancing. And in our region, we have some potential world champions. Charlotte Kemp is competing in the under 15 and Kate Besker, the 18 and 19-year-old categories, to become a world champion. The dancers are trained by Maureen Miller at the prestigious Miller School of Irish Dance in Barrie. Only 1% of all those who train to compete in Irish dance actually qualify for the World Championship, so excellence is the standard.
I love seeing the little ones come to me when they're 3 years old. And now my 3-year-old is going off to Worlds, and when Kate joined, she was 12, and now she's going off to Worlds. So it's very gratifying seeing the growth.
Good luck to Charlotte and Kate, who are off to the World Championships later this month. I did Irish dancing for years, and they are much, much better than I. This March break, the Barrie Public Library is taking kids on a wild adventure. Families got to experience the magnificent Birds of Prey event, sold out and full of excitement. Live raptors from the Irie Birds of Prey Centre wowed the crowd at the Painswick branch, giving kids and adults a chance to learn about their habitats and the important role that they play in the ecosystem.
Well, for once it's scary because they're huge birds and we're always worried they're going to just grab a book off the shelf and fly away with it, but it's been safe so far. But it's exciting, right? We love to offer free programming for kids during the March breaks.
The event combined fun and education, making it a highlight of March break in Barrie. And if you did miss it, not to worry, as there are plenty of family-friendly activities scheduled at library branches right across the city all week long.
So if you're big on K-pop Demon Hunters, we've got a few of those programs this week, some Pete the Cat events, Mario events. We've got some good learning events, some Lego robotics showcases going on.
These free programs are designed to keep kids moving and creating, and they're all running until March 22nd. Now, calling all Midland-based animal lovers, time to start digging through your linen closet. The Ontario SPCA and Humane Society Midland and District Animal Centre is urgently looking for large comforters, blankets, sheets, and any type of laundry soap. Donations can be dropped off at 15979 Highway 12 East, Port McNichol, every day between 11 a.m. to 6 p.m. as a registered charity that does not receive annual government funding. The Ontario SPCA depends on the generosity of donors to help animals in need. There is plenty more to come here on CTV Barrie, including how young fans are turning their love of hockey into a reality thanks to the Barrie Colts. But first, let's check back in with Case.
Celebrating here St. Paddy's Day, Donnelly's, and we're with Mike and Colleen, and welcome. Happy St. Paddy's Day, and I understand Colleen's been to Ireland. What's so memorable about Ireland?
Well, it just feels like home.
Ah, lovely, lovely. Well, welcome. Thanks very much. Happy St. Paddy's Day to you and our Weather Watcher RCs. Oh, Mary, Michaela, make that, and David, they found Little Green. They found their Christmas tree in the snowbank today. Nicely done. You're watching CTV News Barrie.
It's that time of the year. It's our Feeding Families food drive. The demand has never been greater. We're hitting the road as we partner with the Peggy Hill team and our radio partners at Pure Country 106 and Bounce 104.1.
Hi, we're Martin and Steph.
From Bounce 104.1.
And this week on the show, Bounce to the Bank is back. Brought to you by Midland Toyota.
That's right. There's a daily prize of $1,000 and a grand prize of $25,000 up for grabs.
So make sure you tune in Monday to Friday to get those keywords and enter them at bounce1041.ca.
Picture this. Brought to you by Bounce 104.1 and Pure Country 106.
Are some pretty exciting March break memories. We are celebrating all of your adventures, whether it's family fun, getaways, or winter outings. Please continue to snap those photos or dig them up and email them to us. Picture this at ctv.ca. Now, we have a new addition to the CTV Barrie family, but it'll likely be a few years before she joins us on air. May I introduce Magnolia, also known as Maggie Grace Rydell, born this morning at 8:39 a.m. This little darling is our news director, Justin, and his wife, Natalie's little girl, weighing 6 pounds, 3 ounces. Justin, Natalie, and Maggie would like to give a special thank you to the entire RVH Birthing and Obstetrics unit for all their help on this magical day. Mom and baby are doing well, and how about, can we see the adorable little head of red hair? Oh, it's tucked under there, perfectly fitting for this St. Patrick's Day. We could not be happier for you all. And of course, the celebration continues. Casey Colby, are you enjoying yourself out there?
Oh, yeah, I'm having a good time. People are showing me pictures. All kinds of fun pictures going on down here. Celebrating St. Paddy's Day. How about a little Irish trivia? Did you know that 10% of the population of Ireland is redhead? The highest concentration of redheads in the world. Let's hear it for the Irish. Everyone's listening to the band, waiting for the forecast. Let's get into it. Here we go with the forecast, taking a look at the temperature outside your door as we speak. Let's get to it. Here we go. How about -10 in Mount Forest, Ontario, -6. Take that -5 in Toronto, -8 Newmarket, -10 in Gravenhurst, and -10 in Parrystown. Systematically, I did not give you the wind chill because it's not nice. Very cold, very cold. Okay, we'll get into it. This is the almanac for today. -5, -14, that's the high, that's the low. A record 18.5 degrees in 2022 for record high, and -25 back in 1885. Sunrise, sunset, 7:25 it's up. 7:28, bye-bye. Grand total of about 12 hours, 3 minutes of daylight. Roll that forecast radar for me, would you please? Irish Sully, there you go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Some cloud cover, check. Some flurry activity, check. And more flurry activity. A peak of sunshine? Well, let's get to it and find out. This, yes, absolutely. This is the southern tip of Georgian Bay Lake. Simcoe overnight temperatures settling in. I'll give you the wind chill, minus 22. Flurries and squalls, 2 centimeters. Yeah. And the wind speeds, well, they're gusting 30 to 50 out of the northwest. Mainly cloudy tomorrow, -1, -2, and a 60% chance of a few flurries kicking around. Hey, there's a risk of some freezing rain tomorrow night. I'm giving it to you now, so your heads up. This southern part of our viewing area, Orangeville, Bradford, Georgina, Newmarket, Richmond Hill, we're looking at -13. -14. There is a snow squall warning right now going on in Orangeville. Flurries and squalls this evening. -1 for tomorrow for the high. 0 in Richmond Hill. A sunny cloud, a peak of sunshine, just a peak, ladies and gentlemen, and a 40% chance of flurry activity. Hey, hey, hey! How about northern part of our viewing area, Perry Sound, Huntsville, Bracebridge, Gravenhurst, Halliburton, -14, sorry, -24 with the wind chill. Partly cloudy skies and 40% chance of some flurry activity. Hey, 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 hey! Mainly cloudy skies tomorrow, 60% chance of flurry activity. -1, -3 for the high. That's tonight and tomorrow. Now, time for the Diamond and Diamond Alerts 5-day extended forecast, and it goes like this. Starting in Simcoe County, Thursday, snow-rain combination, 2 for the high, 3 on Friday, cloudy and a 40% chance of flurry activity, 60% chance of flurries on Saturday, holding steady at 3, 5 degrees come Sunday. Oh, we're already in the spring. Lovely, lovely sun cloud, 40% chance of rain and/or a few flurries. 5-day extended forecast, York Region, have a look. Thursday, last full day of winter, snow-rain combination, 4 degrees. Friday, yes, spring arrives, 10:46 in the morning, 4 degrees, 60% chance of a little rain or light snow. Saturday, first full day of spring, cloudy, 40% chance of rain and maybe some flurry activity. And Sunday, sun and clouds, slight chance of a little mixed precipitation. Muskoka, Perry Sound, Halliburton, have a look. Thursday, snow-rain combination, and 2. Oh, we're going out on a bit of a mixed precipitation ride, aren't we? Friday, cloudy, 60% chance, snow, rain, 1 degree again on Saturday, and cloudy skies. Yeah, that's mixed precipitation. And Sunday, sun and cloud, 40% chance of a few flurries, and oh, we're having a good time. That's Memphis mud you're looking at right now. St. Patty's Day, having a blast, Sarah.
He's going to have no voice left by the time we wrap this broadcast. Now, preparations for St. Patrick's Day celebrations, they have been underway right across the city, clearly, for much of the day, and that includes for the very first time at the Barrie Legion.
Today, it's St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, and here at the Barrie Legion, we have some wonderful Guinness on tap.
From Irish Fare to Guinness Zero alcohol-free beer, there's something for everyone at Legion 147. The Celtic sounds of Gabe Salem warmed up the crowd in the late afternoon, and the Legion, though, reminding the public that they, too, could use a boost.
Cheers! Now, the Barrie Legion, even though we look like we're doing quite well, we have expenses here that kind of take over. And so if we don't take advantage of these wonderful occasions like Oktoberfest, like St. Patrick's Day, we will find it difficult to meet our obligations.
If you're looking to help out, a reminder that everyone is welcome at the Legion on St. Vincent Street, and the Boathouse Blues Band will be playing tonight until 10 p.m. The Barrie Colts are bringing the energy to March break all week.
Because I watch them play on ice and they're on TV.
More than 80 young hockey fans ages 7 to 10 are lacing up their skates and hitting the ice for the team's annual camp. Kids are getting the full hockey experience, from fast-paced on-ice drills with Colts players to high-energy dryland training. And it's not just about skills, it's about fun, teamwork, and making memories.
You know, the kids get on the ice with some of our guys. They come to games. They recognize the players. They kind of build these relationships with the players, so they kind of feel like they're a part of it. You know, spending a week with them on March break camp, and then coming on Thursday or Saturday night and getting to watch our guys on the ice.
And campers will also meet their hockey heroes up close during a special autograph session. Okay, still to come. There's been a second stabbing on a TTC property in as many days. We'll have more on the concerns surrounding safety on Toronto's transit system and what commuters want to see done. Plus, we'll recap tonight's top stories. Do stay with us. Recapping our top stories on this Tuesday, snow squall advisories were in place for much of our region last night into this morning. The high winds causing intermittent whiteouts and trouble on Highway 11. OPP saying there were 16 collisions involving over 20 vehicles. National Impaired Driving Prevention Week is underway, an initiative by MAD Canada, and it says ride programs are an important reminder to make smart choices. People across Canada are continuing to make poor decisions with 215 impaired driving charges and short-term suspensions every year. And 220 Barrie Transit drivers say they are ready to walk off the job on Monday. The union recently voted 96.5% in favor of strike action if a new deal isn't reached. This after failing to reach a new agreement with the MVT, Canadian Bus Inc., a Texas-based company that holds a 20-year contract to operate Barrie Transit. Two men are in hospital following a stabbing inside a Toronto subway station late last night. The second stabbing on TTC property in as many days, prompting concerns about the safety on the transit system. CTV's Beth McDonnell reports.
Two stabbings in 2 days, one inside Bloor Yonge Station stemming from an altercation, the other from a fight on a North York bus, have TTC riders reflecting on their own close calls across the system.
I was in the train and someone walked up to me and was just yelling some slurs, and I felt bad, and he kept saying he was gonna yank off my wig, and that was very scary. So every day it's getting more scary.
I just traveled on the TTC today for a long time, and a lady was assaulted on the TTC. So it surprised me, but I noticed there are a lot of security around.
Toronto police say the violence at Bloor Yonge Station broke out Monday night shortly before 11, sending a 43-year-old man and the 22-year-old suspect to hospital. On Sunday, a 32-year-old man suffered serious life-threatening injuries from that stabbing. The TTC says its CEO and the police chief have spoken since the stabbings and agrees safety on public transit remains a priority. The mayor says one stabbing is too many, but trends are moving in the right direction.
We have noticed that there's a drop of about 28% from year over year, which is great. And the reporting of disturbances also dropped by half.
I don't see any extra constables in sight. So, no, I don't think it's getting any safer.
Through no fault of their own, I think there are people using it for shelter, and some of them are pretty unstable, and it is frightening.
I don't know if it's getting safer or not, but I don't have problems with it. I think it's a fantastic system.
Work has been done to improve safety on the TTC since the pandemic, from adding TTC special constables to a pilot program underway embedding crisis worker teams along the U portion of Line 1 to bringing on neighborhood community police officers between Union and Eglinton in November. Councillor Brad Bradford, who intends to run for mayor, says more is needed, and he's bringing a motion forward next week to have police officers in all subway stations.
It's a deterrent factor. You look at other jurisdictions, other cities around the world that have struggled with transit safety. One of the responses has been to have uniformed officers in the transit stations. And I think Toronto is at a point right now where that's necessary.
In the hopes people can travel safely from point A to point B. Beth McDonnell, CTV News.
A new poll shows a majority of Canadians are opposed to our country's military becoming involved in the war in the Middle East. 74% of people surveyed by the Angus Reid Institute say the Canadian Armed Forces should stay out of the war. Meanwhile, 10% say Canada should get involved in Iran, while 15% say they're not sure. Prime Minister Mark Carney has already told Parliament that Canada will not participate in the campaign. Canada's stock market is continuing to be impacted by the instability in the Gulf, mainly causing oil prices to fluctuate. Let's move right into the markets. The TSX was up 52 points, the Dow was up 46, and the NASDAQ was up 105. And commodities, oil was up, closing at $95.53 a barrel. Gold was up, finishing at $5,008 an ounce, and our dollar down, ending the day at 73 cents US. Now, the price at the pump has risen in some provinces today. Let's start with Ontario. We saw a 1.8 cent jump to $1.61 per litre on average. Meanwhile, out west, British Columbia has the most expensive gas, selling for more than $1.85 per litre. The cheapest gas right now is in Alberta at just under $1.53 per litre. We still have that CTV web poll going on our website right now if you'd like to weigh in on if the rising gas prices are affecting your travel habits. You've got three options. Yes, I will make a point to drive less. No, I will drive as much as usual. Or you're not sure. It'll depend on just how high those prices go. So far, majority are saying they will be trying to drive less. You can participate at ctvnews.ca/Barrie. For commuters in Aurelia, some good news. Tomorrow you can take advantage of free rides. The city is marking Transit Operator and Worker Appreciation Day by waiving fares on Aurelia Transit for everyone. Officials say it's a way to thank drivers and staff while encouraging residents to take public transit. On this St. Patrick's Day, an Irish pub, the likes of which you've never seen before. Instead of heading out to celebrate the holiday, this bar comes to you. This is the Wee Irish Pub, a mini pub on wheels built by two brothers that recreated a traditional Irish pub experience that can be brought straight to driveways, weddings, and parties. But you'll have to head all the way to New England. And that St. Patrick's Day party is in full swing here at home as well. We are live tonight at Donnelly's Bar in downtown Barrie, where it's packed wall to wall with people in green. The energy is electric. Drinks are flowing and the crowd is loving every minute of it, and I think Casey is too. More from the spot in Barrie that is definitely the place to be coming up after the break.
Pure Country 106. Central Ontario's home for the best country music. Listen for your chance to win $50,000 with Pure Country's big $50K payday.
Here's a look at your primetime lineup. Ainsley McGregor Mysteries, a case for the yarn maker, starts at 8, followed by Criminal Minds at 10 and CTV News Barrie at 11. With spring approaching, food banks here in Canada hope to help even more families and lend a hand. Bounce 104.1, Pure Country 106, and CTV Barrie. We're back with our annual Feeding Families campaign. This year it's powered by the Peggy Hill team. Join us Thursday at Zares on Bayfield Street from 4 to 7 p.m. We'll be there live, and we hope you can donate food or money and help support local families in need. Our focus today, however, is all about St. Patrick's Day. Kate, how is it?
Oh, it's a little loud here celebrating St. Patty's Day downtown at Donnelly's in Barrie. And let's get to the Get Up and Go forecast first. First thing tomorrow morning when you're waking up. First thing in the morning, what are we looking at? Barrie, minus 13, mostly cloudy skies. Quite a bit of sunshine in the Newmarket area, minus 14 at 7 o'clock in the morning. And minus 17 degrees in Gravenhurst at 7 o'clock in the morning. Get Up and Go forecast. We're still celebrating St. Patty's Day. We know how to have a good time. There you go, buddy. Here goes cameraman Davy Dole's hat, too. There we go. Happy St. Patty's Day.
And a happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone at home. I'm Sarah Freemark. Thanks so much for spending this hour with us tonight, but we're not quite done. Let's leave you with the sights and sounds of Donnelly's Irish Pub as we celebrate St. Patrick's Day.